Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Pepper, and today I'll be unboxing Cthulhu, Death May Die, which is a pretty cool name if I do say so myself. This is a game by Rob Daviau and Eric Lang, which this will be the first Eric Lang game of ours, I believe. This is also a Cool Mini or Not game, which will not be the first Cool Mini or Not game we've played. But yes, the first Eric Lang game, which definitely interested in. I know he's made quite a few big games, Blood Rage and Rising Sun, Ankh, Gods of Egypt, and this is another one of his bigger titles, which just the cover looks pretty cool. Got that ominous, giant, ancient one, Cthulhu, big baddie back there, which I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of silver foil on his eyes, which is actually really creepy. But yeah, pretty cool cover. Pretty deep box, more than a hand's width deep. Otherwise, it looks to be your average square, maybe ticket ride footprint of a box. In here we have the rule book, which there are the components. A little peek at the components. It has some artwork in here as well. Lots of pictures and showing how to set things up, which this is page 10, and it's just getting to set up, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. But yeah, it goes to about 19, 20 pages, but if the rules really start at page 10 with the setup, then that should only be a 10-page rule book. But yeah, hopefully it's a good one. And here is... oh, this is the old Cthulhu board. I believe you'll be placing the different baddies you'll face, like kind of their reference cards on there, as well as Cthulhu will be making his way to Doomsday there, or whatever you may call it. And here is plastic wrapped sheets of cardboard, which, let's get this open. But yeah, I was interested in this game by the name of it, and we never really tried any Eric Lang or Cthulhu themed games, so always been looking for one that seemed to fit the games that I like to play. And lately I've been starting to get a little more into dungeon crawlers and those dice chucking, fighting monsters types of games, so this kind of came around at the right time when I heard of this, and definitely, like I said, the name was really interesting, and actually the thing that sold me the most on it was Z Garcia had a review of it where he wasn't that impressed. It didn't really get a positive review from him, so I was like, oh, so maybe not the Cthulhu game to start with. But it actually turns out that he ended up playing it a little more, and it actually made its way into his top 100 games of all time. So I think to go from a negative first impression, or a meh first impression, with probable high hopes before playing, to actually making it into someone's top 100 games, there has to be something there. But yeah, there's a lot of cardboard, a lot of different locations. I'm guessing you'll be making up a board of different locations with these tiles. But yeah, quite a few different tiles. Quite creepy setting here. But yeah, going back to here, we have some tokens of maybe life tokens, health, fire tokens, maybe portals. Lots of good good tiles. They pop out pretty easily. They're average thickness, maybe a little thinner than usual, but nothing too bad. But yeah, these are hard to keep in here. They are actually pretty easy to pop out. Oh, and maybe double-sided, I see, as well. But yeah, I hear that these, this is a pretty big piece of cardboard, that these actually are a little too small for the miniatures that are in this game. I watched a playthrough on the Dice Tower, and it got a little ridiculous having like 10 to 20 miniatures on maybe this one of these little rooms. It's a little ridiculous, but I think that adds to the fun of the game. Next up, let's go with, open some of these first. We've got patient medical files. Let's see if we can open this up. I don't know where my trusty tool is, so we might not open this up. But yeah, it looks like there's quite a few there. These are possibly different ailments you can get throughout the game to either give you advantages or disadvantages. It opens right up. There's tape there, but opens right up. Here are different miniatures for your heroes, or I don't know if they're technically heroes, but the characters you will be playing throughout the game. Let's get a few of these out here. I could probably just leave them in there and show them to you. Like that. Oh, he's got flames coming from his hands. Got the woman with the axe. Maybe a witch there with some daggers. Pretty cool models, all very unique. Oh, she's got some fire coming from her hand as well. Maybe they're a couple. Just a normal guy with a shotgun. An Indiana Jones here, which actually looks a lot like Indiana Jones. Pretty cool. I wonder if that is a reference to that. We got some player bases and some dice, which I love any dice with unique icons and a bunch of some symbols to give you different things. Got some tentacles, an exclamation point, some tentacles, some throwing stars there. Yeah, pretty cool dice. So that is that. Oh boy, there's tape on here which is making this hard to open. Got some baddie minis. Looks like some sort of dragon. Some sort of dragons, demon dragons. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this body horror type of nasty miniatures. But as long as I get to blow them to pieces, that's fine by me. Here are little trackers for your character. We haven't opened the character maps just yet, but I believe these go on there to track your insanity and health and all that good stuff. But yeah, these are really tentacles, I believe. Yeah, really cool trackers. I really like those. Much better than just some cylinder or cube on there. Let's just go even another layer, I believe. Oh, which they have these little trays to, looks like to tell you kind of where everything goes in the containers. Which it looks like we've got some zealots here, or some cultists. I call them zealots because that's what they're called in Gloomhaven. But yeah, some cultists here who are, I think, probably a pretty big fan of Cthulhu and his pals. I've located my trusty tool, and we're going to try to get open these character mats. Try not to impale myself while doing so. These are pretty tightly wrapped in plastic here, so I'm trying to be careful not to damage. Let's see. Yeah, this is taking a little while here. There we go. Okay, so we have just opened these character maps, and let's get into them. There is a nun, Sister Beth. Bogota, Colombia. Their lack of faith should disturb them. Okay, I'm starting to get a tone for how this game's gonna feel. There's the old Indiana Jones character from Indiana. I see I might have snuck a little Easter egg in there. I've got a bad feeling about this. The kid. Oh boy. I don't trust her. She is from Unknown, and her only quote is ha 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 ha. Quite creepy. I like all the little character details. Borden there. Wonder why they chose that name. But yeah, really cool characters. Quite a few characters, actually. Yeah, that's quite a few characters there. Looks like they have a little backstory, which I always like. I don't always read it, but I do like that they put the effort in there. Shoot first, never ask. Yes, that is same quote on the front and back. It looks like it breaks down the turns in the game, which I always like. You kind of have a reference built into your character mat here. Anything to keep a reference close by. These look like we mentioned, those little tentacle trackers that can go along on these tracks or up here as well to track your insanity, I believe that is. But yeah, as you go more insane, you will unlock better abilities. For your toughness, you'll get tougher, better shooter, and even more mad. Got some health trackers down here. I believe the characters kind of have different abilities. There are some basic abilities, but some unique abilities as well, which I really found interesting when I watched the playthrough on the Dice Tower. Just how the more insane you get, the closer to death you are, but also the more powerful you get with these abilities. Very cool. Quite a few characters. I love the variability and kind of the little bit that they add with the characters' backstories and quotes. Really cool details. Next up, let's open some of these. There are minis in there, as you can see. We got tape here, which is very... Oh boy, do I hate the tape and having to open that on camera. Let's see if we can get this. And there are two more minis with very, very spooky monsters. Get the tape off my finger. And these look to be Season 1, Episode 6. Standard television show, 6 episodes in the first season. But yeah, it looks like different scenarios that you can go through. Let's open this first one. I don't know if there's spoilers. Oh, it looks like it breaks down what is in every one. Cool. Kind of pick your scenario maybe based on what it looks like's in there. Cool stuff. Let's open this first one. Which also they all have a little bit of artwork setting it up. That's nice. Kind of reminded me of the little comic strips between scenarios in Under Fallen Skies. Okay, looks like what we have in here is plastic wrapped. Almost lost my tool again. Plastic wrapped tokens and cards. I won't show you every scenario. Let's just look at this first one, kind of what scenarios might bring to the game. Looks like this will have fire tokens, which there already were some fire tokens, but some more. Looks like some runes or something that you'll have to go and get. And these will go out on that Cthulhu mat that we saw before. Here's how to set it up. A little details on rules for the scenario. Some different baddies, which I think that is the source of the fire, that monster. But yeah, there's that, and as well as some cards. Fire Vampire. Okay. Got quite a few, well, not too many cards here, but these must be events that show up, maybe, in a deck. Cool. And this, I was hoping that this would have that little flap as well to make it easier to open, but it does not. Let's get this open. Come on. These cards are giving me trouble. Okay, there we go. There we go. I don't know, I'm not good at filling that time when I cannot get a card open. These look like, these look like different, I'm not sure exactly what these are. Monkey paw. Okay, so maybe these are abilities that you can get on your character. Oh yeah, I think these come up and you get to choose one of the options, and it's an ability or a disadvantage or advantage that you get to your character. But you get to choose one of those options, which is a really cool idea. I like that you get to choose between two things. I always love when there is that, just adds a little more variability. So that's what a scenario might add: some cardboard tokens, some more cards, objectives, abilities, different things like that. Hester. I'm glad I can't say these names right, because then there is no chance of me ever summoning them by accident. So this looks to be... okay, so we've got some cards here. I can open this one up. Let's leave it. Caster Disciple moves 2 spaces towards you. So yeah, I think these will be cards that you'll flip, which will tell you what the bad guys are going to do. Minions of them. But yeah, definitely just character cards telling you what's up, little tokens to go with the baddie, and it looks like we've got a miniature for that spooky demon, and its minions, which have Tommy guns. It's a little weird. Yeah, you think they could come up with some powerful force to do something other than just a Tommy gun, but it's their choice, I guess. I'm feeling a little better about my odds. I think I can take on a Tommy gun. Here are some cards for the Cthulhu. Oh yeah, this is the Cthulhu box. So pretty much the main man there, cover star, cover girl. Yeah, some cards telling you what happens. The sleeper awakens. Yeah, cool stuff, cool stuff. And you've got little cards. Not little cards, pretty big cards. I believe they're cards. Yes, these are square cards. And I believe, oh, the final stage, stage 2. So it looks like he's going to be upgrading as the game goes along, with different powers and health and dice that he will roll. Which is really cool, that he just gets more and more powerful as the game goes along. course, why wouldn't there be a little more tape to get through? Yeah. But it's just building the anticipation. So it looks like we got some tokens here, which I'm guessing are his minions or something like that. And here's the big reveal. Get a drum roll going. First, we got a little sidekick of Cthulhu here, which is a pretty big miniature, which you could fool me into thinking that's Cthulhu any day. He is definitely worthy of being the main villain, I would say. But, of course, this is Cthulhu. A very, very big miniature. Like, as you can see, pretty much fills my whole hand. Oh boy, disgusting. Put on some pants, Cthulhu. He's got the wings, the tentacles. Very, very disgusting looking guy, but definitely a worthy opponent, I would say. A lot of good detail here. Disgusting detail, but good detail. Yeah, he's going to be quite the table presence, I would say. Let's get to one of these room tiles out here, if I can find one, and see just how big he is. Okay, so here, if I can pop this piece of cardboard out. So there's a room where I'm guessing characters and minis can go. And there is Cthulhu, as well as the hero fighting him. Yeah, I can see these tiles might be a little small, but I think it's a ridiculous game, dice chucker, fighting monsters. I think it's fitting. But yeah, that is Cthulhu. This has been Cthulhu Death May Die. There will be a lot of death, I assume, in this game. Here it's pretty hard, so comment below what your win percentage is with this game. I'm looking forward to trying this. Oh boy, a lot of stuff under here. Can't even get this whole box in shot here. But yes, that was Cthulhu Death May Die. If you like this, please leave a like or even consider subscribing. We'd really appreciate it. But otherwise, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.